For the majority of people, especially after the age of like 30 years old, and honestly, that number is getting lower and lower because of more and more time spent in this forward position, letting these muscles of the neck and traps and shoulders get tighter and tighter and shorter. So one of the tightest areas that we see in adults is these traps. A great way to release them, and this is not going to be necessarily comfortable. It's going to take some time. If you have a door frame or a braced wall that you feel like you can use, lacrosse ball or baseball works great. It goes between your shoulder and the wall. You're putting pressure forward and then moving around that muscle tissue, and you can work to the front side of it. You can work over the top. You can even roll yourself down, letting it get further into the back side of those traps as well. You're welcome. Once you're here, you can even try moving your arm around if your wall allows that. But you're looking to open up those very tight muscle tissues. They get tighter and tighter for being stuck here, and even worse from breathing into your chest repeatedly. Another great one, taking the lacrosse ball, opening up your chest, because that same being in that stuck forward position, your chest gets shorter and shorter and tighter, and this brings you into this forward flex position. So the more open we can be, the less shoulder pain, the easier it's going to be to breathe. So pinning that in there, forcing a stretch, pinning that in, forcing a stretch. When you find a tight area, a knot, stay there with it, work with it until you feel like it's actually made. Lower body, the main issues that we find with adults, with people that are stuck at desk for long periods of time, and this contributes to a lot of lower back tightness and pain, is the stabilizers along the inside and outside of the legs. For a lot of people, they call these the IT band and the groin. IT band, this is not comfortable, especially the first time somebody goes through it, but you're on the outside of that leg, other leg's here to brace, and you're moving up from the knee to the hip, looking for tightnesses along the way. I don't have anything super fancy here. This is really just by a 4-inch piece of PVC pipe that I've cut off. A roller works great. For the other side, the groin, this isn't quite big enough, so a hard-sided medicine ball does great for this. You're going to have one leg straight, and the leg that is being released, the leg that you're trying to make the change in, is going to be bent out to the side, and you're rolling from high up in the groin to the knee. With this, you can just move along, rolling, looking for knots. If you find an area that's tight, try to straighten your leg out, bring it back in, and keep going. Now, a lot of people that report to me that they have, they deal with chronic lower back pain, lower back tightness. First time we introduce really stretching those groins, it makes a world of difference. They feel like they have a brand new back, because what most people overlook is that groin actually pulls directly at that lower back. So if we can get that to release, if you can get the movements of the hip better, the back itself feels better. So as we start to look at stretches to benefit our adult population that are stuck at desk for the majority of their days, or even for teenagers that are stuck in school and then from there they go to video games, or either way, vast majority of people could benefit from these stretches. We start looking at from the shoulders down, because the majority of our problems now come from being in this forward flexed position, whether it be on the computer, looking at laptops, looking at tablets, whatever the issue may be. Starting point is going to be legs bent, feet flat on the floor, and your hands behind your back a bit. Ideally, we keep our fingers pointed forward, and then as you press through your feet, you're going to feel stretching in the shoulders and biceps, and you may even feel some muscles starting to wake up through the hips. You're going 10 reps, and as you go, your shoulders should allow you to press up higher and higher. After that 10th one, you can relax those arms, straighten your legs out. Hands will go back, but now if you would like, you can turn those fingers out. Now our focus is more on the back side of the legs, hips, and lower back. Toes are going to stay up. You're going to dig through your heels to make a straight line from shoulders to heels. You may still feel some stretching in those arms, and that's fine, but if you turn the fingers out, it should lessen it and allow you to focus on your legs more. From here, your next one, we have those knees underneath our hips, maybe a little wider. Press those hips back. Walk those hands over to one side. Pull against the ground. Hands over to the other side. Pull against the ground. You may feel, or you should feel, stretching down this side. You might even feel some stretching down the lower back just from being in that child's pose. And that's fine too. Now for this one and the next one, having a folded up towel or something down as a pad for the knee can be beneficial. Your next one knee down, one leg way out to the side. Keep that chest low as you try to press your hips back. You're looking to stretch in down that extended leg. You can push into the stretch, relax. Push into the stretch, relax. This is a good one, especially if you deal with chronic back tightness. If that groin is tight, is short, it's going to pull directly at your lower back, causing those pains, those problems. Moving on, letting that lower back kind of settle where it should be and letting the hips reset. We have our bootstrap. So starting at the bottom of a squat, no matter what, your palms do not come off the floor as you press those hips up. Even if you cannot get your knees all the way straight, do not let your hands come off the floor. After you stretch those hamstrings, bring the hips back down, reach up. Reach up. If you need something to support as you go through this, do that. Door frame, chair, whatever. Sit down in the squat. Press up. If you need support, hold on to something, because sitting in the bottom of this squat as you reach is very, very beneficial for that sacrum and lower back. Reach. Reach. I'm looking at 5 reps of that total, I believe. Then the last one, feet are going to be a little wider than hips. One hand reaches up, and no matter what, you want to keep that above your shoulder as you reach over. If it's beneficial for you, you can hold a medicine ball, a water bottle, anything up over your head, something that'll make you have to focus on keeping that up, because we just don't want to see your arm dropping as you go.